My name is Philomina Okeke-Ihejirika. I am a professor of women and gender studies at the University of Alberta here in Edmonton. I also head the Pan-African Collaboration for Excellence, which seeks to improve the lives of people of African descent locally and globally. Just want to share a few thoughts about this concept called resilience. I grew up as a child of war in southeastern Nigeria. Amidst the ruins of a civil war, I rummaged the landfill of the military base in my village for something to eat: bread, margarine, cake, discarded by the conquering soldiers that might still be edible. I started kindergarten under a tree in 1970, and by 2008, became a full professor in one of Canada's finest universities. Most people would say that I am highly resilient, but the truth is that my experience is not uncommon among Indigenous peoples, Blacks, immigrants, etc. My achievements are more due to the kindness of strangers than to resilience. I'm aware of the millions of far more resilient people I left behind on my way up. The kindness of strangers may reward the resilience of a few, but it doesn't confront the systemic barriers faced by the majority. What's my point? Resilience, simply defined as the capacity to survive adversity, is a gospel that marginalized Canadians should be preaching to the mainstream, not the other way around. We are already over-resilient. We are already survivors. Well, I don't totally discount the gospel of resilience. I agree with this strength-based approach, which seeks, at least affirms that I'm of value to and not a burden to Canada. But I wrestle with a concept that is uniformly applied to all cultures and contexts, despite its inherently Eurocentric, neoliberal, and individualistic foundations. Come to think of it, there is no word for resilience in African epistemology. What comes close is the maxim of Ubuntu, literally translated as "I am because we are." Ubuntu upholds the inherent dignity and goodness of all humanity, prioritizing family and community over the individual. Individuals operate within a web of moral commitments and duties to the broader society. As such, self-actualization for people like me goes beyond personal desires and achievements. Rather, success interweaves both personal and collective goals. I'm also suspicious of the connection between resilience and mental health, as extended to newcomer populations, people like me. The immigrant paradox syndrome we all have heard about is a proven, long-standing pattern which shows that, I quote, recent immigrants often outperform more established immigrants and non-immigrants on a number of health, education, and conduct or crime-related outcomes, despite the numerous barriers they face to successful social integration. My point? We appreciate the benefits of mental well-being, but as they would say in my village, we didn't climb 7 mountains and swim across 7 seas to get to Canada, simply to improve our mental health. What exactly am I getting at? We need to re-envision the concept of resilience. Marginalized Canadians do not want to merely survive. They want to thrive, to contribute to Canada's economic prosperity and multicultural heritage. So we need to be given a chance. We need to be equipped. As one of my research participants aptly stated, I do not expect Canada to put me on a pedestal. All I ask for is a bridge. My final thoughts on beginning points to re-envisioning resilience. I think we need a shift from the current paternalistic savior's approach, which infantilize and pathologize our ways of knowing and being. Because the bodies of knowledge which inform current services and programs, they do not reflect our realities. Systemic barriers like anti-Black racism are destroying our families and communities. As a stakeholder in my research program, uttered in astonishment, how can we serve them well if we know so little about them? I want to conclude my talk with a comment from University of Alberta's Associate Vice President, Dr. Laura Beard. She says that if we consider Ubuntu a more dynamic conception of resilience, then we must begin our quest to transform society by understanding not only the mainstream, but also those who live in the margins. We need to understand all of the I's that make up the we in this country. We must begin by asking, who are the we as we? And who are the I's that make up that we, which constitutes Canada? I think I'll stop here. Thank you.